So I'm Mike Bybee, senior producer on the World of Warcraft team. I work with the user interface team as well as on several features in Legion, including the mission system and the class order hall quest system.
My name's Jeremy Fiesel. I'm a senior game designer on the World of Warcraft team, and the major systems I worked on in Legion were the Broken Shore introduction, Legion Invasions, and World Quests. Absolutely. I think we feel this is one of our best expansions that we've ever put out. But really, the proof of that will come in how steadily we can get content to the players over the course of the expansion's lifetime.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen a tremendous number of people coming back and playing the game. I think going forward, what we want to do is make sure that people have plenty to do into the foreseeable future. And all of the patch information that Ian announced yesterday is part of that.
The question that we're asking ourselves, is there a talent that everyone is taking?
Oh, yes.
And if everyone is taking that talent, should we just give it to the class baseline because it's so good and everyone wants it?
The other thing to mention there are utility talents that maybe we trimmed in the emphasis on class specialization identity, and now we're talking about bringing those back. Things like traps for hunters and the rogue concealment.
But also, this is a good opportunity for us to do class tuning changes now that we have a really solid initial set of numbers based on the first rating tier. So you'll see our first major tuning adjustments to classes.
We've got a lot coming after patch 7.2, but patch 7.2 sort of wraps up a lot of the story in the Broken Isle specifically, and especially like players started out in the Broken Shore near the Tomb of Sargeras, and now we're circling right back to bring the fight back to the Legion, back to the demons, back to the Tomb of Sargeras, and we're really excited to see what comes out of that.
The first one is how you get them. When you get to Exalted with the Armies of Legion Fall, which is our new faction in 7.2, you'll be given a custom either scenario or quest line based on your class. These quest lines are intended to be an epic introduction to what your class mount is. So, for example, for the Priest mount, you find a hidden Titan vault near the Maelstrom under the water, and you discover this powerful creature of the light that's been hidden away for generations. For customization, for some of the mounts, like the Mage mount and the Priest mount, they actually change based on your specialization. So the Mage one thing you didn't see yesterday, was that it's Arcane for the Arcane Mage, and it's Fiery for the Fire Mage, and it's Frosty for the Frost Mage. That's not the same for every class. Some classes, we wanted them to feel unique and different depending on your class. So while that's true for the Mage, for the Paladin, we actually have the ability to change the color of your mount to 3 other different colors. Once you get the first mount from the quest line, all of the other ones are available on a vendor for order hall resources. So I think one of the funnest things that we're doing is trying to add additional bonuses that you get when you get the mounts. For example, for the mages, you get the disc mount, but also you get a toy that lets your battle pet ride around on a disc next to you. While hunters actually gain the ability to tame a new family of feathered beasts, which includes hybrid creatures like wyverns.
There's a raid tier that players have, actually a couple raid tiers that players haven't experienced yet. There's the upcoming Trial of Valor, and then there's going to be the Nighthold raid that comes out after that. And the Tomb of Sargeras raid will be a difficulty level above all of that. One thing we're doing with patch 7.2 is rebaselining dungeon content so that players will have the opportunity to continue to gear up outside of raids, and so there will be a very clear progression through the raid and dungeon content in 7.2.
I think that in terms of the Mythic race, we felt that it went a little bit too quickly in Emerald Nightmare. We want that to be probably a little bit longer than it was.
I would add that we've got, as I mentioned, other raids coming out, and each of those we're trying to time it so that we give players time to fully experience one tier of content before we release the next tier of content. And so we're looking at Trial of Valor coming out very soon. I think it's right after BlizzCon, and then Nighthold again, and we'll have that out for a while, and then Tomb of Sargeras will come out after that.
We want to be sensitive to not giving players too much too quickly.
Yes. Well, we don't want to spoil too much about the story, but what we can say is he's had it coming for a very long time.
I think it's fair to say that the Kil'jaeden fight is going to be a very unique experience, unlike anything that you've done in World of Warcraft. So we're going to try a wide variety of different things because really that's what we've seen in Overwatch and Hearthstone makes their brawls awesome. Things like everybody fighting on mountain back, or 15v15 arenas, and I think a big part of this is going to be seeing what the players respond to and what they enjoy. We want to thank you for playing World of Warcraft, and we hope you're enjoying Legion as much as we are. Please, shoot us any kind of information over to the Korean offices. We're always in contact with those guys, and we love hearing what you guys appreciate about World of Warcraft.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for playing. We're really excited to see you guys in the game. We're excited to hear your feedback. Keep it coming. Thank you.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.